Right, I'm just responding to the Craig Effects video about Owen Hart. I was going to do a video myself about Owen Hart. 10 years it's been, and I just still in disbelief about what happened to him, to be honest. I'm going to say how I found out about it. It was a school day. I was about to sit my English exams. I was 16. Yeah, 16. About to sit. I can't remember whether it was my final exam or what, but I think it was an English exam. And just as I was getting ready, I was like listening to Radio 1, which is owned by the BBC here in the UK, and the news was on, and it mentions like WWF wrestler Owen Hart had fell to his death at the Over the Edge pay-per-view the night before, and he was 33, I think it was, something like that. And I was just really in shock. First of all, for WWF being mentioned on BBC Radio, and of course, like, for what happened and how I heard about it through that kind of means, and that it actually got to news in England on the BBC and in newspapers. It's just really, it's just so tragic. It's probably like the wrestling death that hits me the most. I mean, I'm sure with other people like that are a bit younger and stuff, it's Chris Benoit, but for me it's Owen Hart, because I always remember how I felt at that moment when I heard that. I felt like near crying, you know. Crying's quite something hard for me. It's not really something that happens naturally. Even when something sad happens, like someone dies or something goes wrong in your life. But yeah, that had me near tears, and the fact that I had to go to school that day and do a fucking English exam, let's just say I wasn't in the mind frame. And I had like one or two friends at school, didn't have many friends at school, you know, and one of them like just was someone that didn't really care a lot about wrestling, and for him to just see me being so mopey at playtime or whatever must have been pretty shit for him. But yeah, that death and the way he died especially was just a big shock for me back then, and still is to this day. I still believe that he could have had, out of the roster back then, I think he was like one of the most deserving of a championship reign for some amount of time. But realistically, he probably was never going to get it if he stayed alive, and he may have been like an upper mid-carder for life or whatever. I think as far as wrestling, his wrestling acumen and the amount of effort he put in, he deserved a championship reign, I think. And he was just a hell of a performer. I mean, he had so much charisma, he was very athletic. Some of the matches he had were like just fucking outstanding, like the one against 1-2-3 Kid at King of the Ring 94. His feud with Bret is one of my favourite feuds of all time, and I've started to read Bret Hart's book, and it is sad reading it and seeing him refer to like his younger brother Owen, who just seems like the innocent one of the Hart family. Because if you read that book, you understand like what a bunch they are. It's crazy, really eye-opening. But anyway, that's another story for another time. But yeah, I still believe Owen Hart deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's quite. I thought the lawsuit that his wife did against Vince McMahon WF was quite wrongful, you know. It's fucked up how it happened, but I just guess it's kind of wrong to blame someone like that, you know. But yeah, I just thought I'd do this response, tell you how I heard about it and how I felt when I heard it. And to this day, I still feel pretty sad and down about it, to be honest. You know, I thought Owen Hart, like, just offered a hell of a lot to wrestling, and I still miss him so much. I miss him loads. And yeah, rest in peace, Owen Hart. You're still remembered 10 years later, and you will always be remembered. Alright, that's me out.